Good evening, future passengers. Are you ready to sit back, relax, and join us on a ride of epic proportions through the mystical land of randomness?
Am I a serial killer if I eat Lucky Charms?
What would it be like if horror characters ran a gym? Who would run spin class?
When a shark jumps out of the water, is it like suffocating for that split second?
So join us every week for a brand new Derailment with Goobs, Ripkin, and Jenny Bean.
You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Derailers.
And don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, and also on YouTube. Have a great night or day, folks.
We want to take you now to the White House briefing room where Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders is speaking to reporters. Let's listen in.
A Hollywood actor publicly encouraged people to kidnap my children. And this weekend, a member of Congress called for people to push back and make clear to those serving their country in this administration that they are not welcome anywhere, anytime, for anything. Healthy debate on ideas and political philosophy is important, but the calls for harassment and push for any Trump supporter to avoid the public is unacceptable. America is a great country, and our ability to find solutions despite those disagreements is what makes us unique. That is exactly what President Trump has done for all Americans by building a booming economy with record low unemployment for African Americans and Hispanics, the defeat of ISIS, and the ongoing work to achieve peace on the Korean Peninsula.
All right, all of this was in response to Sarah Huckabee Sanders being kicked out of a restaurant in Virginia.
Yes, she was.
30 seconds here for you to respond to her comments. Go.
Oh, boy. Sarah, let's just chat. It's just you and me for a minute, Sarah. It's not the rest of the world, Sarah. It's just you and your old pal, Justin. You know, when we grew up together, we were like peas and carrots, Sarah. You taught me how to swing. I taught you how to swing a little bit later in a different sort of way. And just
10 seconds left.
Just remember, Sarah, that we're all goddamn people, okay, up in this world. And Mr. Trump is he's a bold-faced liar, man.
That's the nicest way you could put it.
I think he is not a good fella.
Sushi Jackknife. 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 Sushi Jackknife.
Welcome back to Sushi Jackknife.
Yes!
I've never been more ready to podcast in my entire life.
I am also here.
Yes, you are. I feel like we should say, I'm Justin, you're Nathan.
Yeah.
We've been doing that on the other show.
That's the truth
of
the matter
We
here.
never do that here, really.
That's because I feel like they
know us.
They can piece it together.
Yeah.
I want them to do some detective work. I don't want to have to do it all for them.
This is not a paranormal show.
You know how much people love true crime mysteries.
This is not a true crime show.
This is a little bit of a mystery for those people.
Okay, all right.
Which one of us is which?
You're never gonna fucking know.
And which one of us killed someone? Maybe you'll find out by the end of the episode.
Maybe you won't. It's a multi-part story.
No one killed anyone.
That we know of.
Yeah, I mean,
we killed a guy one time, but
well,
we did that on the show.
Yeah.
So the facts are there. You just need to go discover them yourselves. Boy, it has been a minute, and we have missed you, and we've missed each other, and we've missed each other's voices and touches. And
whoa! What did I miss?
Longing stares from across the table.
I didn't know we'd gotten to that point of the podcast
in
yet.
the basement. Huh?
I didn't know we'd gotten to that point yet of the podcast.
What point?
This episode of the touching and the longing. I thought that was like halfway through.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's
been a minute. I'm out of practice.
Yeah. You got things out of order.
I'm a little verklempt.
Yeah.
Well, it is good to see you all again, that we see none of you.
Yeah. I mean, in my heart, I see all of you. You're all faceless.
Amorphous.
Yeah. And it's like on Dateline when they interview a person that doesn't want to sign the release and it's just a shadow.
Blurred out.
Yeah. I see a blurred out shadow with someone speaking through like a vocoder thing. So
yeah, just
that's
like
what
that.
you all are to me.
It's kind of like on Cops. Mm-hmm. You ever watch Cops?
I've seen Cops.
My favorite. Can I tell you about my favorite episode of Cops?
It's weird that you have a favorite episode, but go.
It used to come on all the damn time.
I mean, it still does.
Does it still?
I think so.
Have they updated any of the episodes, or are they all still from 1992?
Probably still from 1992. I mean, they're all filmed in a place that it might as well be 1992.
Vintage. So all the drugs are out of style.
Yeah.
Everyone's wearing backwards baseball caps. Everyone has like hip hop versions of Bugs Bunny and
There's
Elmer
a lot
Fudd
of
on their shirts.
A lot of acid wash jeans.
Yeah.
A lot of. Although that's back in style now, so I guess Cops has come
It
all the way back
comes
around.
back. I heard a kid the other day, and then I'll tell you about my favorite story from Cops.
Yeah.
I had a kid the other day tell me that now she was born probably in what year is it? She was probably born in 1999.
I don't like this already.
And I know. And she told me that the 90s weren't cool. She's like, the 80s were cool, the 70s were cool, the 2000s were cool. Nathan, the 2000s were cool.
What was cool about the 2000s?
I don't remember.
Have we come full circle where the 2000s are already
Did
cool
we skip
again?
the 90s? Because the 80s are back. The 80s are back hard.
The 90s were back, but only for like a year.
Yeah.
Like, I remember hearing some bands that you're
Yeah.
like, oh, you like grunge.
Yep.
I got it.
Yep.
I see where you're going with this. And then I never heard from them again.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it's gonna. I think it's gonna come back around. I think it's a little premature. I think those people were on the cusp,
Right.
But this particular person, I'm like, you didn't even live through. And I felt like the need to defend the '90s all of a sudden and be like, no, I was alive. It was different. It was weird. It was good.
It doesn't make sense. It would be like me sitting here going, 60s were garbage.
Yeah, you have no concept.
I wasn't there.
Right.
I don't travel through time. I have no idea.
I was born in 1984, so I could say the 70s were garbage,
Yeah.
or like 1980 was just total shit, but I have no context.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I just had to complain about that.
I'm honestly trying to think of what in the 2000s, like pop culturally.
Like, was any good at all?
I mean,
that's American.
there were good things
That's like
in the 2000s.
Sure.
But
People's lives were pleasant.
I don't know what specifically you would point at and go, that was it.
I mean, the 2000s to me are just like a wash of American Idol, September 11th.
Yeah.
A lot of really, really bad rock music.
Yeah.
Emo, which
Emo is back. That could be what she
maybe
was
that's
talking
what she's
about.
referring to. I don't know. I'm confounded by it. So my favorite episode of Cops.
Yeah.
I think they were in Arizona or somewhere, which goes a long way to explain what happened.
That's pretty much
Seems
all
like
the
a depressing
background we need.
part of the world. Sorry if you're in Arizona, but you'll understand, I think, once I get through the story. Cops pull over a guy in a van, like a work van, a white,
Naturally.
Dodge work van.
You never see anyone on Cops being pulled over in like their Maserati.
Never. Not one. Though I would love to see that, actually.
Yeah. That would just turn into a weird showcase of white privilege, probably.
Yeah.
Like, do you know who I am? Moon?
Sorry, sir. Move along.
You have a whole bunch of meth in your back seat, so doesn't matter.
I'll take that, and then you can be on your way.
Exactly.
Yeah. You must understand, we can't let this get in the streets. So, so they pull over this van, and they get the guy out, and whatever, guys, obviously high.
Right.
Not sure on what. And then he says, officer, there's another guy in the back of the van. And so we open up the back of the van, and there's another guy in there. And both these guys look like they were rejected from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
In the 90s.
Okay.
So picture Under the Bridge era Anthony Kiedis.
And they have socks on their ding-dongs.
Yeah. They have acid wash cut off jean shorts.
Right.
Torn t-shirts, backwards caps, long hair. And the one guy... all you can see in the back of the van is just cans of paint. Just cans of paint everywhere. And the officer says, well, what are you guys been doing? You've been parked on the side of the highway for a while. We've been hanging around. What's been going on? And the one guy, what is happening? And they're asking this to the driver. And then the other guy pulls a bag off his face, and he has a goatee and mustache of gold. Of gold paint. And the officer says, have you been huffing paint, sir? And he's like, no. What? Me? Never. And he has paint on his shirt. These guys have been destroying their brains with metallic paint for hours.
And that's probably why they didn't have a better excuse as to what they were doing.
And it's just great because they're so in denial. But their face, he doesn't realize he's got paint all over his face. That's my favorite episode of Cops.
That's the adult version of like all the cartoons where the kid's like, I didn't eat chocolate.
Right.
And then he's got chocolate everywhere.
He's got a ring of chocolate around his mouth. Yeah.
I didn't huff the paint. What do you mean?
Paint.
Gold is the perfect color for that too.
I know.
Yeah.
They were blinging. They were blinging it out. They weren't just going soft.
You huff classy that way.
You do.
I want to take a second right here to say that we here at Sushi Jackknife, do not encourage huffing of any sort of paint or other huffing supply. Glue. I know glue is one of them.
Yeah. Though it did wonders for the Ramones.
Yeah, I mean,
they got a song out of it.
Yeah, but there's only one of them alive now. So
good point.
Which
one is alive?
Take the good with the bad.
Not Dee Dee.
No,
Johnny.
Dee Dee, Johnny, Joey, all gone.
So one of the drummers.
Marky. Marky's still alive. The main drummer.
Okay.
Not the original drummer.
Which was Mikey? Mickey?
I can't keep... There's like 80 E's in there. He's still alive. I read his book. Oddly enough, out of all of them, he's the one that got in trouble for like drunk driving. I guess Dee Dee never was drunk when he was driving, just on heroin and random pills.
Yeah.
So
poor Dee Dee though. Poor Dee Dee.
Yeah.
He went through a lot.
Yeah. I mean, they all went through a lot.
They did. They really from the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Johnny, he didn't go through that much. He was just kind of a turd.
Which why he was a Republican, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bizarre.
He was a Republican that joined the Ramones. According to what I've read, that was his next step after he was rejected from the army.
Whoa.
That's a big
left turn,
about face
man.
right there.
Yeah, but
it's you went as far the opposite direction as you could.
Yes.
So,
but you got to give it to Johnny because he used the same guitar, the same amps, set the same way for his entire career.
Yeah. Part of that, I'm assuming, is he didn't know what else to do with them.
Yeah. I mean, the punk thing was like, no pedals, just turn your guitar amp as loud as it will go.
And go.
Yep. Yeah. I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anyway, so don't huff.
Don't huff anything.
Unless it's oxygen.
Biscotti.
Be careful when you huff biscotti.
We inspire a generation of children to go crunch up biscotti.
And this is how you get the like Tide Pod challenges. Someone says it as a joke. Next thing you know, there's a bunch of 12-year-olds smashing biscotti and sniffing it.
Start somewhere.
Piercing their eyes with sharp biscottis.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Like a serrated almond. Jesus.
I got a biscotti shard.
Did you on the subject of huffing?
Yeah.
Did you ever like smell a Sharpie when you were a kid?
I mean, I've smelled a Sharpie.
Like stuck it up to your nose? And been
no, not really with the Sharpie, but I do. And I think they stopped making these as powerful as they used to be. I remember as a kid the magic markers that were fruit scented.
Oh yeah, those still are around. Yeah.
We would have those in class, and there's always just a kid going blueberry, just for like 10 minutes. Now you're not gonna get high off but I feel like people talk about pot being a gateway drug.
Right.
Scented markers are the gateway drug.
Man, I did one time. I must have been in middle school. I did the Sharpie only once, and I mean, you get a headache.
Yeah.
You feel lightheaded.
I mean, I've been in a room with a lot of Sharpie and been like,
like with the caps off?
Yeah. Well, like if you're in a small room and multiple people are using Sharpies,
yeah,
the smell is pungent.
This sounds like a bizarre, like, jumping into either a gang or a sorority. I don't know why a sorority and not a fraternity.
Get into the Sharpie room.
I guess I just want to be one of the girls. So, yeah, you walk into a closet and they just have like 500 Sharpies with the caps off in there. And you have to, like, I don't know, drink like a 6-pack of beer while you're in there. And that's the duration of the time.
However long it takes you to get the 6-pack of beer down.
Right.
Okay.
And then when you come out, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're completely fucked.
And then they just punch you in the face for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds like a sorority.
And you're jumped into the sorority.
Yeah. Here's your skirt. Wow.
I'm not 100% certain how sororities work.
That wasn't so hard.
Oh.
Did you have Greek life at your school?
No.
We did not either.
No, I feel like I missed out on that. Not being in it, but being able to make fun of the people who were in it.
Likewise, because we didn't have it either.
I just had, at our school, we had like the football players to make fun of.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the equivalent, but not, because some of them were fine, and you're like, fine, whatever, you're okay. I won't make fun of all of you.
We had the uber religious to make fun of.
Well, I had that,
you had that too.
Although, it was a religious school, so they were the cool kids.
See, that's odd.
Yeah.
That is odd.
Odd note about one of them, by the way. I found this out today.
Oh, today?
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Not good news.
Okay.
So I got a reminder on, not a reminder, but Facebook constantly is saying, you might want to be friends with this person. And I always go, decline. But one of them made me think of a person that I went to school with. And I was like, I wonder whatever happened to that person, because they were problematic.
Okay.
We'll say problematic.
I know what you mean.
He got sentenced to, it was around 50 years.
Whoa.
For, what, I can't remember the exact charge, but like, something illegal sodomy.
Oh my God.
Like, what? You were in the religion department, and you worked in the campaign of a Republican prospective state congressman.
That's where sodomy lives.
Yeah, yeah.
My friends.
Yeah. So that was an interesting surprise today.
How many people do you have to... Did he sodomize people?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Like aggravated sodomy?
I don't know that he actually did.
Yeah.
But they caught him.
Sodomizing someone?
There were two people.
Oh, boy.
They caught him.
Okay.
I don't know if it was in the act, after, whatever.
Okay.
He was already in trouble.
Ah.
So it was like a compiling effect.
Okay.
Because he was already on the offender list.
Oh, boy.
So...
Not kids, right? Like, we're not talking...
No.
Okay.
No, like 20-year-olds.
Okay.
Not good, by the way.
Consenting.
I want that... Not consenting.
Oh, not consenting.
Yeah, that's where the
50
bad
years comes in.
Yeah. So it was like a certain number of years for being on the registry and not obeying the rules while you're on the registry, I guess.
Sure.
And then also, a few decades thrown on there for the actual charge.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the religion department.
See, this is why you gotta just let people be people, because if you don't, they become aggravated sodomists rather than just congenial side of this. Like, it's fine. Like, you can find other people who want you to fuck them in the ass.
There is an entire community for
dedicated to that.
Yeah.
Were they men that he was sodomizing? Oh, see, he could have sex every day of his life with a different guy.
Yeah.
Consensually. No problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Grindr exists.
Grindr is a reality.
I don't even think you have to pay for it.
No. Any of it. Not the app, not the sex.
No, it's just
you just
swiping.
Do it.
Swipe.
It's super easy.
Swipe either left or right all day long, whichever one is the one that says yes.
Yeah. Then you go for that.
Right? Is it right?
You're not that picky. You're a man.
Yeah. So
you're just trying to get out there and sodomize.
So that is what my school was like.
Wow. Well, and okay, so you went to a Nazarene school,
yes.
Right? I went to a traditionally Baptist school, but they were sort of just generally Christian. Now, none of the professors were; they were all pretty liberal.
See, that's a much better start already.
Yeah, you didn't have that.
We had some professors who were like Nazarene liberal.
Okay,
which is the equivalent of just like humans. They're a person. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you had the very conservative ones that
sure.
Like I may have mentioned this at some point on this podcast, maybe not. The class I did the worst in there was ethics, because the ethics professor did not agree with my stance on ethical issues. And so she always graded me down because there's a black and white answer to all of these, and I apparently chose the wrong one.
God bless you for being a free thinker.
I just kept going. I couldn't do it. I
know you.
Like the first time it happened, I'm like, okay, I know what happened here. And then the next topic I got was abortion. Or no, it was euthanasia.
Okay, just euthanasia.
Euthanasia. And I'm like, I don't think I can do it. And I could not.
You couldn't.
I got like a 55 on the paper.
Because you're a good writer. You probably wrote a very good paper.
She had marked like one punctuation correction, which I still contend was a choice. Like it
was it like where a comma was or something?
Yeah.
Commas are bullshit.
She had that marked, and then nothing else, and it was a 55.
What? So just purely on your opinion?
Just on the content. Didn't like the content.
God, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
I passed.
Yeah.
I passed ethics because the test, I could get the correct answers on the multiple choice test.
Oh, yeah.
But those papers were going to be bad every time for her. Every time.
These are the exact like globalists that my father-in-law is always complaining about. Mm-hmm. I made a positive step forward psychologically today, by the way. I blocked him.
Oh.
On my phone.
What are you going to do when he realizes he's blocked?
I don't know. I don't really care.
Okay.
I only respond like every 50 things. I mean, that's
anyway. Actually, I have no issue with that. That's a healthy thing.
Thank you. So this is today, all right? Today. Okay, I'm going to start with yesterday.
Okay.
But just one from yesterday. Two from yesterday. New York Times, this is the text he wrote me. New York Times, May 25th, 2000.
Oh, boy.
The globalist sellouts vote to allow communist China normalize trade relations. Okay. Later that day. You're not likely to see this on NPR, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, or BBC. So, like, on one thing.
What's Breitbart talking about?
Right. Wait, he said CBS. No, CBN. What is CBN?
Well, that's
Christian Broadcasting Network?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. No.
I mean...
Of course you're not going to see it because...
Well, I have a whole separate issue with those networks.
Okay.
One of them has Mike Huckabee on now doing a news program.
Yeah.
That's religious.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Today, at 8:32 this morning, this is, I'm having coffee. Coffee is entering my body for the first time of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I received this. Venezuelans forced to pay for water as army takes over. Socialism has slid into a dictatorship in Venezuela. Socialism sounds good on paper.
Okay. I would like him to find the NPR, CNN, MSNBC, etc. article that was like, you know what's a pretty cool country right now? You know what government seems to be doing really well and we like everything about them?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've reached the conclusion we all reached 2 years ago.
Exactly. Thank you, Nathan. We know this.
No one is looking at Venezuela and saying that's operating correctly. That is going well.
That's a clear example of how socialism works. You know what a clear example of how socialism works is? The goddamn United States of America. Am I wrong?
I mean, it depends on your example here.
We are a bit socialist.
There are parts of us there.
There are parts of us that are
You know what's
socialist.
shockingly socialist?
What?
I've realized
Vermont?
this. No,
Just joking.
shockingly, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So Tennessee,
our home state,
for a red state with all Republicans everywhere minus Jim Cooper and probably whoever's
Love
in
you, Jim
Memphis.
Cooper. Colby Sledge.
In Memphis?
No. He's
Colby Sledge doesn't count.
He's not a Republican, though.
Nothing against Colby Sledge. He's just like, he's little time.
Okay.
I'm talking big time. Okay. I'm talking going to be on Meet the Press.
Sure.
For all of the crazy right-wing people we also have free community college.
Yes, we do.
And free, like, physical therapy for children that need it. There are weird social programs here that the Republicans have come up with that they're like, this is a really cool idea. What if we tried this?
It's like they've been hanging out in the Sharpie room and they came out of there in their skirts with great ideas.
Yeah. It's like when, I can't think of his name, was the governor in Massachusetts, Mitt Romney. That's
Romney.
Came up with socialized healthcare. You remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
And it was great.
Remember how that was a really cool idea?
And it worked.
Then it was a bad idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Later on today, excuse me.
Yeah.
Mattis heads for China for talks with Chinese military leaders. I got no problem with that. Next, we get an article from Times of Israel, then from the New York Times. Now,
it's like you have the worst CNN news alert set ever.
I know. Now, here's the HTTPS, the address for the Times of Israel article.
Oh, good. That's
timesofisrael.com. Iranians chant death to Palestine at economic protests. Okay. The New York Times article. This is today. Trump liberal activist shaming. Now the coup d'etat the other day, Nathan. The coup d'etat.
Yeah.
Put it over the line for me. And this is part of the reason I've blocked him.
Yeah. Coup d'etat.
He sent me a link to an article saying that Trump's millennial staffers are really having a tough time in Washington.
Oh, what?
They're really having a tough time.
I don't know. It sounds like a bunch of snowflakes to me.
I just because your generation was so great. Mm-hmm. Because you fuckers have done an amazing job of preserving the planet, building strong relationships with your children, not sending us into this goddamn spiraling shitstorm that we're in.
What? I think everything's going perfectly. I don't see anything wrong with any of this.
You baby boomers, and some of you Gen Xers, you cusp Gen Xers, are really pissing me off.
Let me tell you what I have found extra amusing this week. The clip that we were playing earlier of good old Sarah Huckleberry. What was it, last week? The Supreme Court decision came down about the baker?
That's right.
Okay.
The guy doesn't have to bake cakes for gay people.
Now, again, I think we've discussed this on here. I see a gray area there.
Sure.
Okay.
I see a gray area.
But
he's a shit, but yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a terrible human being.
Yeah.
But the Supreme Court ruled in his favor.
Yes.
Okay. This week, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who loved that Supreme Court decision. I mean, if it was a person, she would divorce her husband. She would become Sarah Huckabee Supreme Court Cake Decision. That would be her entire last name. She loved it so much. Went to a restaurant.
Yes.
The owner had LGBT staff. She said, "Hey, look at that turd over there, guys. How do you feel about her being here?" And they said they didn't feel comfortable and wanted to not serve her. So the owner asked her to leave.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing that's ever happened.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
The protected class that the Supreme Court went against, that was no big deal. An individual
Yeah. Who has done distasteful things.
is asked to leave a restaurant.
Right.
Politely, by all accounts. It wasn't like the owner walked over and punched her in the throat and kicked her out.
Right.
Asked her to leave and said they would not be serving her. And you got her all over it. You got her dad making terrible jokes that make me ashamed to love dad jokes. I feel shame every time I read his jokes.
I also feel ashamed that at one point I was like, that guy's probably not so bad.
Yeah, he lost his mind at some point, though.
He did. He did go off the deep end.
And
doesn't he play bass?
Yeah.
He probably needs to pick the bass back up.
He's played bass with Ted Nugent. Does that surprise you?
Oh, boy. I would be happier if he had played bass with Bill Clinton playing saxophone.
Actually, I would if they went on a tour together.
Yeah.
I would probably pay to see that
sounds
just
like
for a second.
The worst jazz quartet you've ever heard, but like you would still go.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh wow, they're all getting along.
Well,
yeah.
At least until midway through the set.
Right. Don't take away that bass solo. That's 16 that 16 bars is his.
Even Donald Trump was tweeting about how wrong it was that she was denied a meal.
Yeah.
Come on. You're the party that's talking about how sensitive everyone else is.
Yeah.
That's all you do. Everyone is just overly sensitive. PC culture gone wrong. Just toughen up.
How thin is your skin?
If you make a deal with Satan to go out and just deliver his message on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You can't be surprised when people give you some pushback.
That's right. That's right.
It's why I didn't take the job. That and it wasn't offered to me.
Not yet.
Nathan. You know what? I would take that job.
Yeah.
And I would deliver his message, like the words he wants delivered.
Yeah.
But I would be doing it like, yeah, no, the president said so. Like, say exactly what I'm supposed to, but just rolling my eyes and shrugging the whole time.
Acting like you're talking to your ethics professor.
I think the president's record stands on its own. Our economy's great.
For some reason, you're wearing a neon green suit in my mind when you're doing this.
I might as well be.
I don't know. And you have spiky hair. It's all very 80s. This leads to an interesting question.
Yeah.
When you're afraid and you're alone at night.
Okay.
I mean, just stick with me here.
Okay.
Afraid, you're alone at night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe in a hypochondriac sort of haze.
Okay.
That happens to you.
Yeah.
I have anxiety. You have specific anxiety about your health.
Periodically.
You're dealing. What is your Satan? Like what, you know how...
Oh, WebMD.
Good answer.
So here's a specific example. Recently.
Okay.
Now, I will say this did not... I did not get concerned overly. Like, there was like the slight concern, but not too bad.
Okay.
I got out of the shower one day and was putting deodorant on. And I noticed a lump in my armpit.
Yeah. Breast cancer.
As does happen.
Yeah.
You get lumps in your armpit. So I wasn't concerned because I could feel it's just like an ingrown hair or something, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mentioned it to my wife, who flippantly just off the cuff went, yeah, and I mean, if it's cancer, that's an okay place to have it, and then just goes on her way.
She went on with her day?
Yeah, she was in the middle of something and just flippantly said it.
No.
I like I said, I'd already decided what it was. I did spend probably 10 minutes Googling it a couple times.
Oh my God.
I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. I don't have sudden weight loss. I'm okay. But yeah, WebMD.
WebMD. My image of Satan is still, because this was a big part of my childhood, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
The premise of All Dogs Go to Heaven is
that all dogs go to heaven.
It's right there in the title.
It's a very good title. Very thorough.
Everything that you need to know is right there. However, what they don't tell you is that some dogs do go to hell and then come back to earth, and then Satan wants them back.
Yeah.
And in All Dogs Go to Heaven, I don't know if you remember, Satan is represented as a sort of devil cloud. Like a big giant
I don't remember
red devil cloud. And that's still my Satan inside.
That's not great.
No, because he
That's
could
not
be
a good kids movie.
he could be fuck anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like behind me right now.
As a kids movie, I have several issues with this.
Yeah. Like, he comes back to claim this dog.
Yeah. As you want to have happen. You know, there aren't a lot of Pixar movies that deal, maybe that's their issue, that deal with the afterlife. Maybe they need to go into that.
I have the perfect concept.
Okay.
Up to, down. The old man dies. The boy follows him to hell. And then they fight their way out.
Actually, that would be a great movie.
Right? It's like Dante's Inferno, but like in reverse.
The little boy and Doug.
Doug
Obviously,
the dog.
Doug
Yeah.
is going to be
Oh,
in
of
it.
course.
Have to make their way across the River of Styx.
Yes.
Because for some reason, hell actually is, you know, there's a River of Styx. And
It's all there.
It's all
Everything you've
very
heard
Greek.
is there. Yeah. They even have Cloud Satan.
Yeah. And has to go find the old man. And I imagine he's just still sitting there in a rocker, cranky. It's hot in here.
There's a demon that he's trying to read the paper, and the demon just keeps taking it. Just real shitty little demon.
That would probably be like one of the worst things not the newspaper specifically, but the worst things you could have in hell. Just like a demon that just annoys you constantly by doing the exact same thing over and over.
Absolutely.
Like the burning and stuff would be awful.
Right.
But just like a demon that keeps like flicking you in the ear every 20 seconds or so.
Oh, that would
for eternity.
Suck. Yeah, that would really.
Ooh, that's no good. Just an annoying little demon.
Just that would start
every
to get
time you turn on the TV, he changes the channel to Fox News.
What a dick.
Every time.
Every time. And he goes,
and it's always Sean Hannity.
These are my people.
Just constantly Sean Hannity in a loop in hell. That's what you watch.
Yeah, that and scenes of your guy from your college sodomizing people. How much sodomy do you think there is in hell? A lot, right? There's a lot of sodomy in hell.
It probably depends on your view of it.
Yeah, if you're into sodomy, not so much.
Yeah,
there's no sodomy.
You specifically go to the no sodomy wing.
Yeah.
If that's a thing you like.
In the white room. Sorry. So before we started the podcast today, we did a number of things.
Yeah.
We had a little wine, had a little water.
Yeah.
We took a walk to the Circle K. We got a couple Black and Mild jazz, because we're those guys.
Yeah.
We had them. And then somehow we got along to the subject of anal bleaching.
Yeah.
And then you said, no, maybe it was me. I don't want to pin this on you.
Go ahead and say it.
I bet that's on YouTube.
Oh, no, I said that.
Okay.
I said I would assume because there is a tutorial for everything on YouTube.
On YouTube.
That there would be a tutorial on how to do that on YouTube.
And so friends of the show, friends of the podcast, if you put in YouTube,
don't do it, by the way.
Oh, no.
If you're going to do it, before we tell you what to do, get off of your company Wi-Fi.
Oh, definitely.
If you're listening to this at work, off the company Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
If you have a nosy spouse or significant other that you don't feel like explaining this to, go into that safe mode or whatever it is.
Safe mode. Incognito.
Yeah. And then you can Google.
And so if you put in DIY anal bleaching into YouTube, there's DIY intimate bleaching. That's the top hit. That's had 80,000 views, by the way.
Okay. How many people? 80,000.
80,000.
How many people are like us where they went, no, this can't really. Oh, it is. Oh.
And I have two YouTube accounts. One is under our name and one's under my name. And mine went right to it. Didn't even ask me if I wanted to see it. Ours, because we're not on, I think we're not on YouTube Red or whatever, was like, do you really want to? Like, I got the little YouTube, like smirky face. Like,
so when you personally went there, YouTube went, oh no, we know what you want to see.
We've seen your other Google searches. We're well aware of your tendencies, my friend. Number 2, anal bleaching demonstration with somebody. 4.8 million views.
What?
Then we got Helen Kyle, Anal Bleaching 101, the facts. Then we got, this is a bit of a euphemism. Genital lightening, DIY for under $3.
Oh, well, that's a bargain right there.
And that's from Ashley Outrageous.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say, if you are looking for any sort of bleaching advice, someone with outrageous in their name, probably not the person you want to get that advice from. I don't know this for a fact.
But Nathan, 86,000 views. And then we got home remedies for bleach your anus. That's not a remedy. You don't have a problem. It's supposed to be that color. Bleaching it is... Okay, sorry. Anyway, so we hit the number 2 video because there's an actual demonstration here. And I don't know if this is your thing. Maybe your friend Captain Sodomy would be into this, but... You can see so much in this video. It's bizarre.
Not the appropriate reaction to the activity.
With cleaning the skin.
And that's what it sounds like when someone's bleaching your asshole. There's a lot of giggling going on, apparently.
I don't believe that is the appropriate reaction.
I think like maybe some discomfort and a mild scream.
How do you get into that line of business?
You know,
are you an esthetician and then you're like, well, I feel like expanding my client base.
I think you get a master's degree and you get to choose.
And those colleges that advertise like during the day, like DeVry and all of those, you can get a certificate. You can learn how to fix an HVAC or fix a refrigerator or anal bleaching. Those are the choices.
Guys, you can go to the Art Institute for this. The Art Institute. You can pay $86,000.
Wow.
To get 86,000 views.
There you go.
Of when you bleached someone's asshole. You went to New Orleans.
Yeah. That has nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Did you go all the way out? Because you could have done this at home.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Well, I didn't see Ashley Outrageous's video.
If only you'd known before you left.
It's a bargain.
That's why we haven't been here. How have you been? How was New Orleans?
It was good. It was clammy.
Yeah.
Very swampy, as you would expect.
Yeah.
But good. Very good.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah. It's a good place.
Did you have coffee?
Yeah.
Did you have beignets?
I did. We went to the Café du Monde. Had a beignet and a cafe au lait.
Was it great?
I I'll be
all
honest
right.
with you.
Yeah.
It was the best beignet I've ever had.
Okay. Little French donut, if you don't know.
That is not saying much because I don't like pastries that are coated in powdered sugar.
That's understandable.
At all.
So you're not a funnel cake guy?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it's too messy. I just don't like them.
Yeah.
It's not that great to me. They were very good, but I wouldn't. If I went back, I probably wouldn't go and get them again.
Sure. Yeah.
Even though they're cheap, wouldn't do it.
Is there, it looks like from the cans, because I've only ever seen the picture from the cans of coffee.
Yeah.
That there's like a big outdoor area. And there's like lots of tables, and you just.
It's so. There's a big outdoor area, and then there's a big indoor area that's actually really an outdoor area.
Okay.
Like there are no walls. It's covered.
Yeah.
There's no air conditioning.
It's a porch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was packed
I bet.
with a variety of tourists. I would venture a guess that no one who lives in New Orleans ever goes there.
I would assume so.
Like not one time. Like they walk by it and go, no. In fact, they probably don't walk by it because it's right in the middle of an area with like, a bunch of shops and stuff like that.
Other touristy. It's kind of like here, like we don't actually go eat the hot chicken.
Oh no, I eat the hot chicken.
I mean, but not like where everyone else is eating the hot chicken.
Well, I don't go downtown
Right.
and order the hot chicken at the random honky tonk on Broadway that serves quote hot chicken. That's just slightly spicy chicken.
Yeah.
I want hot chicken that will possibly hurt me.
Yeah.
Either going in or coming out.
Of course. Well, both.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was fun. We went and saw the Preservation Jazz Hall Band.
Oh, you did. That's awesome.
That was fun. I recommend that. Everyone should go there for that.
Did you
specific thing.
Did you happen to have a Sazerac while you were there?
I did.
Yeah. Way to go.
We went to Commander's Palace. That's it.
I don't know what that is.
So Commander's Palace, I feel like this is like a tour guide to New Orleans now. Commander's Palace is one of the oldest fine dining restaurants in the country.
Oh, wow.
Like it's been around since late 1800s.
Whoa.
And is always on a variety of lists as the,
Like must do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was our anniversary trip. So that was our anniversary dinner.
Wonderful.
I had quail.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, good. Quail's always good.
I've never had quail.
You've never had quail?
No.
It's like a tiny bird. You gotta eat that quail.
Suck its tiny bones.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the quail. And we had turtle soup.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It's like soup, but with tiny hunks of turtle in it.
Okay. What's turtle taste like?
It was in a soup. You can't tell.
So it's a non-starter.
Yeah, I mean, it was good soup, but it's turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you order it just because you're like, I'll probably never have the chance to eat that again?
Yeah. It's their specialty.
Oh, that's their thing.
And it's
Okay.
That's their specialty appetizer.
Gotcha.
You can have a salad of some sort
Or you can have turtle soup.
or turtle soup.
So you get the turtle soup.
Yeah, and then you go, oh, okay.
That's what
That was
that's like.
fine.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. So,
That sounds fun.
yeah, it was good. All of New Orleans is good. Have you been? Have
No,
you been?
never
the
been.
vibe in New Orleans is fantastic. Like just
I
walking
believe
around
that.
the French Quarter, except for bourbon.
Because everyone's throwing up on. Yeah.
It's like the French Quarter. It's really weird. In the French Quarter, all the side streets are nice and like they might be a little bit busy, but they're pretty relaxed, whatever. And then you get to Bourbon, and it's just like, look at the big plastic cup I have. It's very different.
Beale
just
Street,
one street.
And Beale Street in Memphis is kind of like that.
Yeah, imagine Beale Street, but way worse.
Okay.
Like way
And probably
worse.
larger because Beale Street isn't actually that big.
Bourbon Street, like the actual part, it's probably like three quarters of a mile, maybe half a mile
Okay. All right.
of people,
several blocks.
Yeah. Oh, many blocks.
Yeah.
Of people. People think they're being very debaucherous.
Yeah.
It's that thing.
We've seen that before, though.
Yeah, where people are like, oh, I'm getting crazy. But it's really just people drinking and being loud.
Yeah.
Like, that's really as crazy as anyone has gotten.
You can find anywhere, yeah.
I've never understood, like, I'm going to get really crazy. Give me that fruity drink. In a minute, I'm going to yell. And that's the whole evening plan.
I mean, that's like if you come to Nashville, guys, as natives, we can tell you, and you go to Broadway. Mm-hmm. That's what Broadway is, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that the flavor is slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The music, I'm sure, is better in New Orleans.
I mean, not on bourbon.
No, it's the same shit, right?
Well, no, it's not. It's different because it's going to be like, like it's party music on bourbon. The rest of the streets, you get the New Orleans jazz, you get some Louis Armstrong. It's very nice.
That's what you should
That's
have.
part of the relaxing vibe.
Okay.
You're like, oh, it's happy.
So as you're walking around, not Bourbon Street, as you're walking around everywhere else, French Quarter, you're hearing jazz all over.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah.
And people are just chill. Like people are just...
Pretty much.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
One of the more interesting things, I briefly mentioned this to you. So I don't know if you've ever seen cemeteries in New Orleans.
Pictures and stuff.
Okay, so the specifically the Catholic Church is very large there. And they bury people in a traditional French way.
Oh.
Which is like an above ground, for lack of a better word, box.
Yeah.
That you just put the coffin in until the people have rotted.
Okay. Like a mausoleum kind of thing?
Sort of, yeah. And then you just push the bones off of the shelf.
Oh, wow.
And you can put the next person in.
Oh, boy.
So it's like a whole family will be buried in one box.
Holy moly.
Okay. So we took a tour because the only way you can get into these graveyards now, because so many people have started
robbing them,
doing things to them, robbing them, just painting things, writing all over them,
sodomizing people near them. It's a little hard to get it out of my head.
They will only let you go through on a tour.
That makes sense.
So we went through on a tour with a lady who was way too into graves.
Okay.
I mean, uncomfortably into graves. Not like a haunted tour, just a grave tour. So she's walking around going, now this grave, look at this artwork on the gravestone. You're like, okay, all right, weirdo, let's go. But in the middle of this graveyard,
okay,
so most of them are rectangles,
okay,
is a pyramid.
Whoa.
A big white pyramid. No one has been buried in this pyramid. It's reserved.
No.
For one, Nicolas Cage.
What?
Nicolas Cage commissioned.
Wait.
Yeah, he commissioned a giant pyramid-shaped, the only pyramid-shaped, grave in this graveyard. No one knows if he actually intends to be buried there, but he paid for it.
And this is off the back of National Treasure? Like he's...
We don't know why he chose a pyramid.
One would assume.
It may be that. He does love Egypt. He owns a mummy.
Is he an Egyptologist?
I think he's just a freak.
Yeah. I mean, you have to wonder what causes I mean,
there's a lot of questions I had about this.
I'm thrown.
I don't understand commissioning a unique grave for yourself to begin with.
Right.
Because the others are all very, very much the same, except for one big one in the middle that is very traditional and has been there for a long time. I don't remember who's buried in it. Someone important.
And you got to think in New Orleans, like, this is common. And then this famous guy comes up offering people a large sum of money, I'm sure.
The archdiocese, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
Nicolas Cage, okay.
That's more money for weed.
They tore up a bush out of the graveyard to have space to build this giant pyramid.
How is this not on the news every night? This is one of those things that, we're talking about true crime podcast. There should be a whole podcast dedicated
to
why
Nicolas Cage's graves.
Yeah, because
he might have more than one. We don't know.
Maybe they're set up at 7 different points around the world.
Knowing Nicolas Cage, I feel like there's a chance he does have them at 7 different points in the world, and he's going to have his body split up so that no one can get all of him. He doesn't want a grave robber to get all of the pieces of him at one time.
Because he's a little worried that, Face Off could come true. If someone could steal his identity.
It just makes no sense whatsoever.
No, it makes 0 sense.
And
it's bizarre.
So she's telling us all this, and one of the people on the tour is, I believe, asked, "Is he from New Orleans?" And she goes, "No." He has no connection to the city. He's just like, yeah, that would be really cool. I'm gonna be buried in a pyramid in this graveyard.
What if he has one themed after every movie of his?
What, every movie?
Well, not every movie. He's been in a lot of movies.
What would the Raising Arizona grave be?
The significant movies.
Okay.
Of which, Raising Arizona actually would be one of them.
Yeah.
Adaptation, which is a great movie. And he's very good in it. Have you seen Adaptation?
Yeah. He's very good in some movies.
And then, in other movies. It's strange.
It's maybe that's when he's preoccupied, during those movies, with planning
his next grave.
Yeah, just looking into the afterlife, seeing what's on the horizon.
So in Season of the Witch, he's like, I'm gonna get a fucking stone grave.
Yeah, you know what would be kind of neat, guys? When I die, just like a pyramid.
Hang with me here.
I don't want to be like a mummy in the pyramid. Just put my corpse in a pyramid.
I mean, not a mummy, obviously, because we don't speak of Brendan Fraser.
No. Oh man, I bet he, knowing how much he loves Egypt, I bet he was so salty when Brendan Fraser got that role.
The Mummy.
Oh, he wanted that. Oh, yeah. I don't understand what would possess him to do that. It's right next to. Have you seen the movie Easy Rider?
Yeah.
Okay, I have not. But there's a grave in this graveyard that also is in a scene in Easy Rider.
Oh, okay.
So the archdiocese, back when they were filming this, someone asked them for permission to film in there, and they didn't read the script, I guess.
Interesting.
And went, yeah, let's do that. And then it's a scene full of hookers and acid. And so you weren't allowed to take video or anything in this graveyard because they've made it against the rules because of that movie.
Oh, whoa. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, that's great.
So they're afraid everyone's going to go in there and just drop acid and look at Nicolas Cage's grave, I guess.
30 years later.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good trip for us to do, actually. I just want to see the grave now.
It's really not that impressive.
Okay.
Just really confusing.
What would be your favorite grave to see? I mean, there's classics like Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix.
I would want a weird one.
Yeah, definitely.
Which Nicolas Cage is the only one I can think of that's weird.
Totally.
But I've seen it. It wasn't that great.
No.
Maybe because he's not dead. You really take something away if it's just one day he might be here.
Maybe.
This is what I thought was the weirdest about this. So we're going through the tour, and the tour guide says, and we've got an interesting grave up here ahead. And someone behind us went, ha ha ha. And she went, oh, you know who I'm talking about? And he went, oh, yeah. Did you research before you went on the tour?
Yeah. Is there like a weird subculture of like grave people?
I don't know.
It sounds like it. What was it? Was it the Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, the
grave?
Nicolas Cage one.
Okay.
He knew that there was an empty Nicolas Cage grave in this graveyard.
Huh.
There's also, this was just interesting to me, a large wall in the middle.
Of the graveyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that they could have the Protestants buried on the other side. So it's like all Catholics, a few in-ground Protestants over there. Ignore them.
That's the way it should be. Sushi Jackknife.
Sushi Jackknife.
It's good to be back.